Good morning, everybody. We're going to let StreamYard or let YouTube catch up and say that we're live. Russell Moody was in here this morning at 7:39 a.m. So, guys, whoever's in here, when you get in here, give me a 2x4 in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. But it is Friday, October 3rd. It's going to be a nice day today. I'm happy. It's Friday. And I've got a bunch of stuff to do today. After this, I got to pack a few orders up, get them sent out, and then do some other great fun stuff. Michael Osborne, good morning. Thank you. All right. Today is the start. Russell Moody, thank you. Good morning, Michael. As you all know, today is day 3 of the government shutdown, but we're still here. We're still working. So I'm not paying much attention to the government shutdown. Everybody is calling it, the Republicans call it the Democrat shutdown. The Democrats call it the Trump shutdown, all that kind of stuff. And apparently my wife just came back from dropping my son off because the dogs have gone crazy. Frank Short, hey, good morning. I've never seen you in here. Thanks for jumping in. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Greg Skeens, good morning. But yeah, so we're going on day 3 of the government shutdown, and essentially non-essential workers are furloughed or not working or something like that. I don't know the exact term, but everything's still running fine in my neck of the woods. Has anybody been slighted by the government yet that, the government shut down as your world turned upside down? I went and worked yesterday and did all the stuff I needed to do, and nothing really affected me. So it's like, hey, if the government shut down and all these workers are, not working right now, it's like, do we really need these workers then? So that's just kind of something to think about. Don't know how long the government shutdown will last. Honestly, I don't really care. Everybody's saying that Trump's going to use this to permanently get rid of a bunch of federal employees, which that's fine with me. I think the government's bloated anyway, and we could probably do without a bunch of employees that we've got. So, but anyway, Greg Skeens hadn't noticed a thing. Exactly. The world kept turning. The world kept turning, all that. I still get gas yesterday in my truck. I still could eat food. All the stuff happened. I didn't do anything. All right, Frank, I'm a subscriber. I just don't comment. All right, good deal, Frank. I appreciate it a bunch. I appreciate you commenting. I love reading comments. It makes everything go a little bit easier, too. Also, guys, hit the thumbs up button. It supposedly helps the algorithm. I don't really know if it does or not, but we'll say it does. So hit the thumbs up button. It's free. All right, guys. Today is Friday, October 3rd. I've got a bunch of stuff to do. We've got... I'm going to be gone all day tomorrow down at Self-Reliance Festival in Camden, Tennessee. If you're close to Camden, that's going to be a good thing to run down to. You can get, I think they've got tickets. I think Nicole's got a special on tickets right now, but it's, let me make sure the website. I'm pretty sure it's Self-Reliance. Let's go. Yes, it is selfreliancefestival.com. So run over to it, get you some tickets for that. I'm going to be down there. Shelly's going to be down there. They've got some good speakers and good workshops. So run on by and hang out with us for the day. We're just going to be down there on Saturday. I won't be there Sunday. But I got stuff to get ready for that. So today's topic, we're going to get into it in a minute. The lies preppers believe and how they're going to get you killed. So in the comments, jump in there. See if you know some of the lies that we're going to talk about. Stick the lies in there, and we're going to cover that here in just a little bit. Darren, Hacks for the Homesteader. Good morning, buddy. Hey, Darren, y'all aren't coming to Self-Reliance, are you? I didn't know if y'all were or not. So, hey, one of the cool things, Shelly and I, Dustin, that owns Warrior Kid Medic, contacted us, and he was like, hey, I like what y'all are doing with the website. I like y'all's medical kits. It's awesome. Y'all got some cool stuff on the website. He was like, I would like to partner up with y'all some and sell some of my products on y'all's website. So we are hooked up with Dustin from Warrior Kid Medic, and let me pull. Dustin kind of does a lot of stuff with. He's got the Medic Multi-Tool, which is essentially, it's a multi-use triangular style bandage that you can do. I mean, let me see. The description on it is from tourniquets to slings, splints to wound packing. This one tool does it all. I mean, it's a cool like triangular style bandage that you can do. It's pretty cool. So we've got those up on the website. They're in stock, and he's got a couple other things with that. Super awesome dude. Super awesome guy. So let's go over there and check it out. I'm happy. Super nice guy. I talked to him. We had about an hour meeting with him and then some follow-ups, but awesome guy. So, but no, Darren's son will be there. Cool. I'll hit him when I get out there. And Russell Moody, the horse barn. What about the horse barn? What are we talking about the horse barn? So, oh look, Forrest from Alabama showed up. Forrest is probably cooking this morning for his Saturday food truck deal. So, but yeah, guys, run over to the website, check out the new stuff that's on there. Also, we've got Schlishman wraps on the website. I talked to Dr. Schlishman the other day. We've gotten hooked up to carry his stuff, and we've got Schlishmans on the website. Those things are pretty stinking cool. One of the nice things is you can use those on kids. Like a lot of your cat tourniquets will not go down small enough on younger kids and smaller kids, but the Schlishman wrap will. So go check those out, and they're inexpensive too. I mean, you're talking $12 for a Schlishman wrap, and they are small. I've got some in the closet, and I've got one upstairs in a bag. I need to remember to grab some of that stuff. So, Hatfield Homestead, good morning. And then Darren says, we've got a bunch of food and meats to put away. We're also getting ready for our community harvest festival. That sounds fun. And let's see, Russell, I've been working on the horse barn all week. Hasn't slowed them down. Sorry about that. I'm an electrician. Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, the trades keep on going. I mean, I'm remodeling my brother's house right now, and it's asses and elbows getting stuff done there. It's like we have not slowed down. Nobody really cares. So, but yeah, the Schlishman pressure wraps, we got those jokers. I'm excited to work with Dr. Schlishman and get those out for people. Also, hey, Homestead Meetup. The Homestead Meetup is October 25th. That's in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Same place that we have the festival. The deal with it is everybody's going to bring a soup. A few people are bringing desserts. I know Dana was on here Wednesday night, and apparently she's bringing pecan pie. And then Chantel was on here, and I think she's bringing a Texas sheet cake, whatever that is. I've still not figured out what that is. So, but if it's got chocolate, I'm going to eat some of it. So, but that's October 25th is the Homestead Meetup. Shelly's going to do a little session on how to make soap at your homestead. And then one of her daughters, Jessica, is going to do some chicken first aid on it. So it's going to be here. Yes, and Dana's here. Dana's here. She's bringing pecan pies. So I am excited. I can tear a pecan pie up, and I absolutely love it. So, but yeah, so bring a soup, and then a few people are bringing desserts. It's going to be fun. Soap making and chicken first aid, and then we're just going to have a lot of time just to hang out, meet some new people. I hope we have a ton of people show up for this. And one thing we do ask, run over to the website. It is, and let me make sure I know exactly where it's at. If you go the homepage on the website, hit at the top in-person workshops, scroll down, and there's a spot to click on to reserve your spot there. It's just a Google form that says, hey, I'm coming. It just helps us plan and know how many seats and tables to set up and stuff like that. It's totally free, not going to cost you any money. So we just ask that you do that so we'll know how many people are going to be there. So we got Homestead Meetup, the herbal. Well, first after that, November 8th and 9th. And yes, we know it's gun season in Kentucky. But honestly, gun season can wait to learn the land nav skills. That is November 8th and 9th, the land nav course and a workshop that we're doing. Mike Atkins is coming down. Mike is a wealth of knowledge. Y'all probably, anybody that's at the festival probably met Mike. Super nice guy. He's going to do a whole 2-day land navigation workshop for us. First day, sitting in the classroom, learning how to use your compass, learning how to read maps, learning how to plot a course, all the cool stuff that people want to know. And then Sunday, we're going to be out in the field running the course. Mike is setting up a course for us, and we're going to be running that course and putting Saturdays, what we learned Saturday, into real life stuff. We're going to play a little bit of radio stuff too, because Brian and Susan are going to be coming up from S&B Homestead Radio. They're coming up from Mississippi. They're going to be in charge of all our communication. So while you're out there running the course, you're going to have a radio. So if something happens, hopefully nothing's going to happen. But if something does happen, you get lost, you need something, you're going to have a radio to where you can call back in and get a hold of us. And then we can do whatever you need for us. So you can talk a little calm stuff with Brian and Susan while you're there. And hopefully in the next week or so, we'll have a date set for Brian and Susan's class, for their communications class. They do a great comms class for us. And we're going to turn it into probably a 2-day class with Brian and Susan, just where we can cover more stuff and we can go over actually getting out and playing with the radios a little bit more. And it really takes like 2 days to get stuff like that done. Instead of drinking from a fire hose, you get to learn some stuff, actually get your hands on the radios and that kind of stuff. And then the herbal class, Leslie from the School of Earth and All is coming up. Leslie's amazing. That's going to be December 6th. You can sign up for all this stuff on the website under the in-person workshops. So, all right. Today's topic, lies that preppers believe. Okay. There's all kinds of lies floating around with stuff. A lot of this stuff is going to get people killed. It's, just stupid stuff that people keep regurgitating and they see on movies and they're like, oh man, this is great in the movie. I'm going to do just what the movie said, and everything's going to be a fairy tale world. The lights go out and I'm just going to do these lies that we're going to come up with. And it's like, I'm going to survive and be fine in the apocalypse. It's not going to work that way. So and I've got all my notes. I sat down last night, typing up some stuff. I started typing some of the stuff up where I can save it instead of on paper, and then I lose the paper. But then also, it's like maybe I'll crash my laptop one day and not have it. Frank Short, gotta go. Hey, I appreciate it. Have a good one. I appreciate you being in here. Greg News here. Good morning, Greg. I've got to call you after this, or I'll call you this afternoon and set up when I'm going to meet you tomorrow. So I have not forgot. All right. First big lie is I'll hunt or fish for food. Okay. Lots of people hunt. Hunting is a valuable skill. All right, Frank, I appreciate you watching the replay. Hunting and fishing is a valuable skill. Truth in advertising, I suck at fishing, and there's really not anywhere right beside my place to really fish. So we will fish every now and then, but I suck at it. My youngest one loves it. But hunting and fishing is a valuable skill. I know a lot of people, deer season comes around and they stock their freezer and they eat a lot of venison. I don't do a lot of hunting, honestly, just because I don't have time to do it. And I used to hunt a lot in college and high school, but now it's like I sit out in the woods all day and I'm thinking, man, I could get so much more stuff done if I was at my house and growing my own food. So I've kind of chose raising, sheep and pigs and stuff like that, I can raise those and know I'm going to have food to eat unless something crazy happens, as opposed to going out and hunting. But yes, hunting is a good skill. I know a lot of people put tons of venison in the freezer, rabbit hunting, squirrel hunting, all that kind of stuff. I still like to duck hunt some, so that's fun. But I mean, you're not, the thing is, everybody's like, if the grid goes down, we're just going to go out and live off the stuff that we've hunted. Guys, I hate to tell you, it's not going to work. Great Depression, they darn near wiped out the deer population in the United States during the Great Depression. That and rabbits and squirrels and everything else, the population was just decimated with that. Think right now, yes, there are tons of deer, there's tons of turkeys out there, but if everybody and their mom is going out and to hunt, just think what that's going to do. And then plus you've got tons of people out in the woods that have never hunted before. The banker that, the grid's down and the banker's like, well, I've got my dad's rifle that I've only shot 2 or 3 times and I've never hunted before. That guy's out in the woods with a loaded gun wanting to shoot through the woods, and there's tons of other people out there. That's not going to end well. So I'm just saying that, honestly. And then some of the stuff, like you always hear, what is it? What is it? Rabbit starvation, where the rabbits, the wild game, don't have enough fat on them, so you can die of rabbit starvation, that kind of thing. If you're eating just that, yes, you probably can. So one of the fixes on that is build up your prepper pantry. And yeah, like Greg said, and there are a lot less people then too. Yes. And then let me see. Sharon said she talked to Mike at the festival in North Carolina last weekend. And yeah, we do need some more people to sign up. It's going to be a small class right now, so we need some more people to sign up, but we'll get it. I'm not too worried about it. And then Darren said, if we build our meat systems, we will not need to hunt. Exactly. And that's the thing. Let me see, Greg S. I stopped hunting after getting shot by city folk playing country boy. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And right now, people get shot and hurt every year hunting and everything. And that's when we've got, the medical capacity and the hospitals are open to treat that if somebody gets hurt. In a grid down, hey, you get shot out in the woods, depending on where it's at, you're probably toast and you're done for. But the fix on it is, one, just like Darren said, build your meat systems up. Also build your pantry up. Stock stuff that you need. Stock your meats and stuff like that instead of having to go out and hunt. It's going to be dangerous to leave your property and go to somebody else's property and hunt, moving around out in the woods. You never know what you're going to find out there or who you're going to run into if there's tons of people out there doing it. Like I said before, one of the reasons I don't hunt is I look at it as, hey, I can raise sheep and pigs here, know that I've got, X amount of lambs coming up. I've got X amount of pigs that we're going to butcher. All I have to do is feed those jokers, and I don't have to sit out there all day long waiting for a deer to come through. And it's like, hey, I can get the animals fed, and then I can do other stuff while I'm doing that. It drives me crazy sometimes sitting out in the deer stand or the deer blind. It's like, I could be back home doing X, Y, and Z instead of sitting here. Yes, it's fun to take my son out there for a little bit, but build your meat systems up. You know what you're going to have right there at your place, barring some major incident of a lot of animals dying. So my second one is one of my favorite ones, and it goes with that sticker and shirt that I've seen floating around. It's got like a guy, like a stick figure guy, and he's got like a backpack and a rifle in his hands, and it says, when shit hits the fan, grab your SKS and run to the woods. I'm just going to bug out in the woods. That's not going to work. I mean, or if you're just like, hey, I'm bugging out, or I'm bugging out in the national forest or something like that, your best bet, unless you live in a city or unless you got somewhere that you're going to, if you're going to bug out, you're nothing but a refugee. If you leave your place and you don't have a destination in mind and a place to go, in my opinion, you're far off worse leaving, because you're just going to be a refugee. You're just going to be wandering around. And people see, I mean, they do it in movies. It's like, well, we're just going to bug out and live in the woods. We're going to build like a shelter in the woods and live out there. That's great. The woods are not fun. I mean, heck, most people can't go on a 2 or 3 day camping trip without all the modern conveniences and stuff like that. I mean, think about it. Day-to-day stuff out in the woods. You're going to have to build some kind of shelter out there. And especially in the wintertime, if it gets cold where you live, you're going to have to build some kind of shelter that's going to hold some heat in. You're going to have a pretty good fire going all the time. You're not going to have any modern conveniences whatsoever. Not that you're going to have a ton of modern conveniences, like a bunch of modern conveniences if the grid goes down at your house, but at least, you could have solar power at your house. You could have your generators, solar generators, and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, grab your SKS and bug out to the woods is not going to work. So, I mean, it's a rough deal staying out in the woods. That would be my very, very last option, is run out in the woods and just bug out to the woods. So, all right. Lie number 3, I'll take what I need. This goes along with what it popped up a while back. It was the werewolf preppers. They're those people. It's like, I'm just going to take what I need. I see all these people that are posting, hey, look at all my food storage. Look at all this kind of stuff. I've got, 200 years of food supply at my house. And they're like, I'm making a list of these people, and I'm just going to go take their stuff when the time comes. That, first off, that's not a way to prepare. I mean, you're not preparing with that. You're premeditating a crime. So, they just believe that they're going to take supplies from their neighbors, stores, or unprepared families. They're just like, I'm going to buy guns and ammo so then I can go steal stuff and raid people. That's kind of a winning, it's not a winning proposition on that. First off, it's immoral to steal stuff from people. Second, it's kind of shitty to think that way. It's just like, hey, I'm going to go steal stuff from everybody. I don't agree with that. If you're going to put that much time into planning something and planning like, hey, I'm just going to steal from my neighbors, why not go ahead and just build your own supply pantry for yourself? I mean, spend that time that you're planning to do something nice and good for your neighbors. How about you store up extra food and help your neighbor out? So, and Greg's in here. I mean, I guarantee Greg's been in a gunfight before. You're on the losing end. In a grid down situation, you don't want to be in gunfights and getting, confrontational with people. So you're not going to store food, and your idea of your prepper plan is to go out and get in gunfights and assault people and possibly get killed over, a can of beans. It's like, hey, we're going to get shot for a can of beans and probably die after we get shot. You don't want to get in gunfights in a grid down situation, the end of the world. Yes, and I knew Greg would be there. You can't afford to get wounded. It's almost like a suicide mission. So I think Greg and I have talked about this before. It's like all these people have these prepper fantasies of, oh man, I need 100,000 rounds of 5.56 because we're going to be getting in gunfights every day. There's going to be people coming by my homestead and we're going to be having shootouts and stuff like that. That's not what you want to do. You want to be hidden and as low key as you can and just sit back and grow as much food as you can, hang out, keep to yourself, or just talk to the people that you can trust. Gunfights are a losing battle. Gunfights are a losing battle in any times, but especially in a grid down. L2 Survive, what's up? Appreciate you coming in here. And it's like Greg and I talked about it one time. It's like, if you have to put a tourniquet on in a grid down situation, you're probably, that tourniquet is going to be on there to where you can say goodbye to your family. Unless you've got some kind of vascular surgeon or an emergency room doctor that can stitch you up and do all that, and you've got all the supplies to do it, you're probably not going to make it through if you have to put a tourniquet on in a grid down situation. So don't be a jerk and be one of these werewolf preppers where I'm just going to go take everybody's stuff and not prepare for myself and my family. Then Darren said, we're working every day towards living an 1840 lifestyle. The modern lifestyle is just a bonus right now. Yeah, I mean, you've got to get back to where you can live without a lot of the conveniences and stuff like that. And I tell you, honestly, the houses now are not built the way they used to be. They used to have, you know, the houses were engineered to where you could cool and heat them a lot better than the modern homes. You know, they took advantage of breezeways, the taller ceilings to let the heat go up, all that kind of stuff. I would love to build an older style house with like the central breezeways and all that kind of cool stuff, and have it almost like with the chimneys to where the natural convection would come through and bring it. It would be freaking cool to do. So, all right. I guess this is going to be lie number 5, but it's really, I mean, I brought up, you know, you don't want to get into gunfights, and you don't want to get a gunshot wound, because then you're pretty well toast if it's something major. So that'll be kind of lie number 4. Don't get into gunfights in a grid down. You don't want to do that. All right, the next one, gear is going to save me. You see people all the time. It's like they've got a whole garage full of gear. Everything looks brand new. Their big bushcraft knife that they've got has no dings, dents. It looks as good as the day they bought it, and they probably opened a couple Amazon boxes with it just to look cool and see how sharp it is. Just to see how kind of sharp it is and stuff like that. They've never used it. I mean, their solar generator that they've got, they've probably never used it. It looks brand new. There's not a scratch on it, anything like that. There's no dust on it. It looks as good as it came out of the box. They just set it and charged it, never figured out how to do anything with it. All their guns are just sitting there super clean and nice. They don't have any dings, dents, anything like that on it. They've never used their stuff. Their chest rigs, you know, their chest rigs don't have any dirt, anything like that on it. They've got all the gear, but they have no knowledge on how to use it. You know, your water filter, and I've got one sitting here. Your water filter, yeah, you've got, you know, all kinds of water filters. You've never used those water filters and figured out how to use those things. There's just tons of stuff like that. You've got all the medical gear, but you've never opened it up. Hell, I see people all the time that have never staged their tourniquet on their IFAC. It's still in the wrapper, and it's like, okay, bro, you don't know what you're doing. So now we send ours in the wrapper just so you know they're new and they've never been used. But when you order an IFAC from us or order a vehicle medical bag, the tourniquet will be in its wrapper. Unwrap that thing and stage it and get it and have it ready to go. But yeah, skills, you know, that's the big thing. You can buy all the gear, but if you don't know how to use any of this stuff, it's useless. It's a paperweight. Radios are one of the great things. You know, you see guys with all kinds of radios sitting around and everything else. It's like, cool, do you know how to use those things? No, I'm going to figure it out when I need to. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. And a guy I know he doesn't watch this, but there's a guy I know. I was talking to him, and he's a smart dude, knows a lot of tactical stuff. And I asked him about the radios one day. I was like, hey, when are you going to do a comms class? When are we going to show you how to use these things? Well, I'll figure it out when I need it. And I'm like, hey, I said, your AR-15 and all your stuff that you've got, I said, you know how to use that and you practice with it all the time. And he was like, yeah. I was like, why wouldn't you practice with your radio? I said, you saying that when the time comes, you're going to figure out how to use this. It's the same thing as you telling me you bought your AR-15 and you put it behind the door. And when somebody's at your door, you're going to figure out how to use that gun. I was like, it makes no sense. And he was like, well, I don't have time to play with that comm stuff and this and that. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm fighting a losing battle. I was like, I'm done talking to you about that. So now we don't ever talk about comms anymore just because he's not going to put his time in to do it. Greg says, but you also don't want to be defenseless. There comes a point where you must defend yourself, I would think. Yes, I agree, Greg. And then Darren said, without knowledge, having all the gear in the world won't do nothing. Exactly. I mean, it won't do anything. You can have all that stuff sitting there, and it's like, I don't know how to use any of it. Now, there is stuff. I will tell you this. One of my buddies works at one of the hospitals. He brings me stuff every so often, and I'm like, I have no idea what this thing is. I don't know how to use it. And he's like, they're throwing some of this stuff away. It's perfectly fine. It's still sealed in the package. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. And maybe somebody's here that'll know how to do it. So that's the thing. Get the skills, get the training, go to these classes. Even if you don't come to any of our workshops, go to someone's workshops and learn how to do it. Or if you can't go to a workshop, find somebody that knows these skills and use it and just figure it out. Yeah, Greg, saying you're going to learn to garden when SHTF comes. Yeah, exactly. It's like I've got all my seeds in my little seed vault that I don't even know if these plants grow around here or not, but I'm going to figure it out and do it that way. It's like, it's not going to work. So, I mean, that, or I'm going to learn how to raise, I want to learn how to do chickens when the grid goes down. It's like, first off, where are you going to get chickens? And second off, why not go ahead and do it now? Wax Factory, good morning. Glad to have you here. I picked up a Hytera 682 that I need to learn. What is that? I don't know what that is. Let's Google it. Oh, it's a radio. All right. Wax Factory, I have not got in to the DMRs yet. I want to start playing with the DMRs some. Brian and Susan at S&B Homestead Radio has started messing with some DMR stuff. I've not done it. I've just been holding out on it. It's like there's so much stuff to do without DMR. It's just like I haven't had the time to invest in it. I want to get into DMR. I just have not had the time, honestly. But yeah, guys, the gear's not going to save you. Your knowledge and your training is what's going to save you for sure. So stick with that. Get the stuff. That's what I came up with. Some of the top 5 lies that stuff's going to do. I mean, and we'll run over it again. I mean, I'm going to go hunt for food. That's probably not going to work. I'm going to bug out to the woods. Not going to be a real good deal. If you're bugging out somewhere and you have nowhere to go, you're going to be a refugee. I'll just take what I need. You're probably going to get killed. That, and you're also a jerk for trying to steal other people's stuff. Don't get into gunfights. It's probably not going to end very well. Gear's going to save you. It's all dangerous stuff. Don't be one of those people. Instead of doing that, do the exact opposite. Get your own meat source going. I mean, heck, even if you've got a small place, get and start raising chickens. I mean, with the chickens, you can get eggs every day, and then once you need to cull some roosters, you can cull your roosters out, and then you've got chicken. I mean, and you can raise a lot of chickens in a small area and do it that way. And then, heck, if you got the chickens, then you can go ahead and have them run them with the chicken tractor on meth. Run it, make compost, and then use your compost in your food forest or your garden or your raised beds, and then boom, you're making a little food production place right there. I mean, you can do a lot on a small area if you just got chickens, making compost, and growing some raised beds and doing a small food forest. I mean, that's it. You're set right there. And then if you've got more land, get you a couple pigs if you want to. If you don't like pork, get you a couple lambs. Raise the lambs up, or get you a breeding pair get a couple ewes and a ram, and man, if you've got a couple ewes and a ram, pretty soon you can have a good flock of sheep just because you're throwing twins a lot of the times. And hey, your twins are putting out, I mean, you're just multiplying stuff. Katahdins is what we raise. Absolutely love the meat. It's just as good, if not better, than any of the beef I've had. So do that kind of stuff. Don't plan on stealing from your neighbor. Go talk to your neighbor and be like, hey, if your neighbor's a big prepper and you know it, instead of being like, hey, I want to steal his stuff, maybe you need to go talk to that dude and sound, talk to him. Be like, hey, I don't know anything about preparedness. It looks like you're squared away. Can you help me and teach me on how to do this? One thing is you're going to learn and you're going to not be a jerk anymore. And then you're probably going to have an ally right next door to you. If the grid goes down, y'all can do and talk to each other and mutually assist each other. Wax Factory said, these are all true. I've heard this from strong men for many years. Get will all be screwed. Yeah. And Darren says, also your gear can be taken, but you can't take your knowledge and skills. Exactly. Unless they do a lobotomy on you or something like that, and then you're going to walk around like a zombie. Greg, I'm with you. Who doesn't like pork? So I had, yesterday morning, I had tenderloin and egg biscuit that was amazing. And Dana says, that sounds like you're describing me exactly, doing all those things. Exactly. And that's the thing. Do the things, get out there, bust your butt, and keep working on the stuff. Just build. When you think you have enough and you think you've got enough skills, you think you've got enough food, double down on it and keep going. Wax Factory, working on moving to the country. Lexington is a regulatory nightmare. Yes, Lexington is horrible. I have not. I guess you're talking about Lexington, Kentucky. I have not been to Lexington, Kentucky in a long time, and I try to stay away. I try to stay away from Louisville and Lexington like the plague. So, and Andrew Massey, meeting a close neighbor today for lunch, hopefully increasing our mag. That's exactly. And that's the thing. People are like, man, I've got a mag and I've got all this and we've got everything planned out. It's like, do you know all your neighbors down the street? I mean, have you met these people, shook their hands, know what they're about? I know pretty much everybody on my street and have shaken their hand and talked to them and had meaningful conversations with them, except for one person. I've talked to them just real quick. I don't know a whole lot about them. It's a rental house that's down at the end of the road. And there were some people living there and some new people moved in. They seem like halfway decent people, but everybody else on the road, I could go up to their house, call them by name and talk to them. So if you don't know your neighbors, but you're starting to mag other places, yes, keep your mag going, but go out and meet your neighbors, the people that live right around you. I mean, we back up to 100-something acre cattle farm. I know the guy that owns it. I go coyote hunting on his place. I don't have to ask him if I want to go kill coyotes on his place. He knows that if he sees me out there, we're killing coyotes. So I talk to him, every now and then. But I mean, if we want to go coyote hunting, we just climb over the fence and go out there and set up and coyote hunt. And he absolutely loves it for us doing that. And let's see, L2 Survive. My neighbors have too many skills for me to steal from them. I store extra foods and preps to trade for those skills. Exactly. I mean, trade, get your skills, get your stuff. If you've got a neighbor that there's a skill, I mean, and that's the thing. If there's skills that you want to learn, trade with your neighbor on stuff. Tell them, let's say your neighbor's a blacksmith and you want to learn how to do blacksmithing. Go over there and trade with that dude. Be like, hey, what do I have that you don't, or what can I do for you to teach me these skills? Just anything like that. Barter. And then plus also bartering, Uncle Sam doesn't get involved and there's no tax on it. That's the great thing. And the government does not like you to barter because then they don't get their cut of it. Then Greg, that's like our small group at church we've started and they love it. Yeah, exactly. Start some small groups and everything. I mean, honestly, like our festival is once a year for 3 days. it is a place to come and get your feet wet on some skills and some knowledge and stuff. The rest of the year, you need to keep going on this. Don't just come one time a year and be like, hey, I sat through an herbal class and now I'm super prepared. I know everything about herbal stuff. We can't cover everything. And I mean, Leslie cannot cover everything about herbs in a 45-minute to a 1-hour workshop. There's just no way to do it. She can't even cover everything in an 8-hour workshop, honestly. But the festival is to get your feet wet. Hey, we showed you how to make bacon and sausage. We showed you a real good process on how to do that, but now you're not an expert on that. Go home, get you a Boston butt, cut it up, grind it up, and season it. Get you some pork belly. Try your cure on it. Learn those skills, but come to the festival, figure out some stuff that you like, and then take it home and start doing that stuff. And also throughout the year, go to it. Go to workshops. Even if you're not coming to ours, people are doing workshops all the time. Go to a workshop, hone your skills on this, set up some smaller groups like Greg and Mary Beth have done. They've got people from their church coming and doing small groups. Like they're doing them on Saturdays. I don't know if they're doing them every Saturday, every other Saturday, once a month or what, but do some stuff like that. Come to the Homestead meetup. I mean, it's essentially going to cost you gas to get there and a little bit of soup that you've made. So do that. Come hang out with us, learn some stuff, and you might meet, even on a small homestead meetup, you might meet somebody that lives super close to you that you're like, man, I've never met this person before. And then Sharon says, yes, I need practice, practice, practice. Exactly. And also organize where all your preps are. And one lady in a hurricane couldn't find her little camp stove. Yeah, have your stuff organized and set. I've got shelves that we built in the basement that we've got stuff sitting there. And I know mostly, I'm not going to lie, I know mostly where everything's at. Then Dana says, my road is mainly elderly people. I guess the reason I work so hard each day to grow as much food as possible is because they aren't able. If something were to happen and they all aren't members of our church, and they're all members of our church congregation as well. Exactly. And I'm all about taking care of people, you know, especially if people can't take care of themselves. I feel that the younger people have to do that and step up because, I mean, if you look at our parents, yes, my parents took care of me when I couldn't take care of myself. So now as your parents get older, you need to step up and take care of them. My mother does not really care about the preparedness stuff and everything like that, but she cans and does stuff like that. So I've taken it upon myself to make sure that I have preparations for my mom if something goes down. And we've got a plan if something goes down with her and how to get her up here and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, she lives 5 miles down the road. So it's not like we've got a big evac plan that we've got to go halfway across the country and snatch her and bring her back. L2 Survive. I got a booth at the Panhandle Preparedness Expo this weekend in Idaho. Stop by. Yes, L2 Survive. Yeah, you put that in the last one. That's cool. If it wasn't halfway across the country, I would run up there. But we're going to be at Self-Reliance on Saturday. Let's see. Yeah, Dana, they are members of our church. Okay. All right. Got you. I kind of thought that might be the case. And then Darren says, we're constantly reaching out and making new friendships and adding to our community and mag groups. Yeah. I mean, that's the way to do it. I met a lady, Marcy, and I won't say her last name, but when I was talking to somebody on the phone the other day and telling them a lot of stuff that we were doing with Kentucky Sustainable Living and everything, he was like, you need to meet this lady. So he did an intro email. I talked to this lady, Marcy, super amazing lady. I mean, she has got so much knowledge, and I was talking to her, and she is going to help us out in a major way on a lot of the stuff we're trying to do right now with the business and everything like that. And I talked to her yesterday, and she's like, yeah, she said, we just need to have a meeting and I can show you how to do all this stuff. And she's like, I know how to do it. I made the mistakes before and I've been doing this for 30 something years and I can get you set up. And I'm like, that's amazing. I'm so glad I met you. And then also once I talked to her, and she's in Kentucky, she's up around Richmond. So she's like 2 hours away probably. So I guarantee once I talk to her, there's probably somebody that I know that can be a help to her. And then also there's probably other people that she knows that can be a help to me. So it's like Darren said, getting out there, talking, being with these people, meeting new people all the time. I mean, I've met some extraordinary people going to festivals and stuff. Well, just like Dana. Met Dana at the festival. Dana was there. I've talked to her in person. I met her a couple weeks ago and got her some stuff that she was needing. So then Russell, I try to use my Coleman stove lanterns ever so often just to make sure they're working properly. Yeah, exactly. And I tell you what, going along with the lanterns and stuff, those little buddy heaters. I've got 2 or 3 of those things, and I let a couple of them set in the shop, and stinking dirt daubers came and made the dirt daubers actually stopped up some of the stuff on there. So just watch with those things. I had to spend all kinds of time cleaning those jokers up just to get them going. So it's get in there, make sure your stuff is good. Don't just be like, hey, it's fine. Just like your generators. Don't just let your generators sit there with gas in them and not run those things. Because you're going to go out and you're going to try to start your generator in the middle of a disaster when you really need it. And you're like, great, the carburetor's messed up. I'm going to have to pull this carburetor off and clean it, get it put back on, and spend, an hour or so doing that just to get my generator running. And then you're going to do it in crappy conditions, probably not going to have any light to do it, or you're going to be doing it with a headlamp when if you would have thought ahead and done the maintenance and done your regular routine stuff on that, you could have went down there and fired that generator up instead of rebuilding that carburetor while it's raining and pouring or it's freezing cold outside and that kind of stuff. Then Sharon said, I took Bear's med class tourniquet application. Then at the last class in North Carolina, I took another med class. I fumbled a lot, was too slow getting it opened, and the tourniquet on the fake arm. Yeah, and that's practice, practice, practice. Right there is practice and do all that stuff. It should be, everybody says, they're gonna rise to the occasion and be the hero if something like that goes. No, you're going to fall. You're going to fall to your highest level of training is what you're going to do. You're not going to rise to the occasion and be some hero like you see on TV. It's like, this guy never shot a gun, but man, he picked up a Glock 19 and just mowed the bad guys down with never shooting a gun. It's not going to happen. You're going to fall to your highest level of training. If you've put a tourniquet on one time and you're like, cool, I know how to put a tourniquet on, I'm good to go, never have to do it again, and then you have to put a tourniquet on in real life, you're going to fumble. You're going to put it on. It's going to be backwards. It's not going to be right. You're not going to get it tight enough on the first go. So then when you're cranking the windlass, it's not going to get tight enough. You're not going to get the blood to stop. It's like you have to practice on this stuff. Or it's like, hey, I watched and did a canning demo at the festival. I know how to can meat now. I'm good to go. And you do one batch of meat when you get to your house and you're like, I'm an expert on canning. I can set all this stuff on the shelf. And when the grid goes down, I'm going to can chicken all the time. What's going to happen when some little bitty something goes wrong? Your lids don't seal and you're like, why did my lids not seal? It's because you only did it one time and you made a simple mistake and you didn't get the lids to seal or something like that. So it's like practice, practice, practice. Then L2 Survive. Don't forget to recharge those preps that are still in their packages. You don't want the batteries to be dead when you need to use them. Yeah, exactly. And that's having a big stockpile of batteries. And I'll tell you what, I order the Amazon batteries for everyday use. The Amazon Basics batteries are probably one of the best deals going. I order those. I think they come in 100 or 200 packs. I order a couple of those almost like every other month just to have a good stock of batteries. Usually we use those for like remotes and stuff like that, disposable stuff. My youngest one plays his, he's got the cordless, whatever Xbox controllers. So we stick those in there. But yeah, don't forget keeping stuff charged. Like my solar generator, I'm probably going to check the solar generators this weekend and plug those jokers up, make sure they're all topped off. My small battery banks, I need to top some of those off and just check them every so often because they do hold a pretty good charge, but you just want to make sure you're as topped off as you can. And yeah, L2 Survive brings it up. Just go in there and top those jokers off. Wax Factory. I bought a sewing machine and learned myself. I have to go back and sew something every 6 months because I forget how to proficient every time. Yeah, exactly. That, yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to lose proficiency on it. Stuff that I do every single day, you know, it's just mundane tasks because I've done it so many times. I don't have to think about a lot of the stuff. Painting. I paint so much in my contracting business that I don't think about it. It's just like, okay, we're going to paint this room today. And I just go in auto mode. It's like, you've got to grab your brush, you got to get your paints, you got to get your rollers, your container, and it's just boom, boom, boom. And before I know it, I've not even thought about anything. I've zoned out listening to a podcast and I've already cut in half the room. It's like, there's no thinking. So if people will put that much time into stuff, into some of these skills, you don't even have to think about it. If you can so much and do so much canning, it's like, it's a no-brainer. You can put your earbuds in, be listening to a podcast, and when you look at it, all your canning stuff is all set out, your jars are ready to go, and you've not thought about it because you're on autopilot. And then Greg says, you're going to be below your highest level of training because there's also going to be adrenaline involved. Yes. And that's the thing. It's funny. When I went to Immediate Action Medical down at Tactical Response, we did some scenarios and stuff like that. I have put tourniquets on. We have done chest seals. I have done wound packing, all that kind of stuff, and pretty proficient in that. I've gone to a lot of training with it. But once you get in a stressful situation, your fine motor skills get a little funky, and it's stuff like that. You just need to train and do all that stuff. And one of the scenarios we ran it was like a 15-minute long scenario. And we were going and debriefing after that. And Kayla's like, how long do you think that scenario was? And I was like, Kayla, it seemed like maybe 4 minutes. And she was like, it was 15 minutes. And I'm like, no way we were doing that for 15 minutes. She goes, yeah. She goes, I timed it. And I said, it felt like maybe 4 minutes of what we were doing. So that's the thing, training. I guess what you can take away from this is don't believe these lies that you see on the interwebs, and don't believe the stuff that you see in movies. You're not going to be out raiding and looting houses with people. You're going to get your butt shot if you're doing that. So it's build up your own stuff, take care of yourself, and don't believe the lies. So guys, I appreciate it. I've got to pack up a few orders, and then I've got a meeting mid-morning today about another job. So I'm going to pack up some orders, do some stuff like that, and then get ready to head down to Self-Reliance tomorrow. Guys, I appreciate it. I will see y'all back here next week. If you need anything, run over to the website, get your medical kits, radios, all that fun stuff that you need and stuff that you need to learn how to use also. Guys, I appreciate it, and I will see y'all next week. Y'all have a good one.